Hey everybody, this is Crowmar with TGN. I'm here today to bring you another Rift video. This is the Ranger Rogue, recorded during the Beta 5 event. And we're going to be testing the Ranger and seeing how he stacks up and how he and showing how he works. So first, let me show what this looks like here now. Get off the mount here. Before I attack, I want to show you the pet. You have the Razor Beast. You have the Direwolf. And then your last one's a Shadow Stalker. Let me just show you these one at a time here. Let me start with the Direwolf. Now, what happens is, when you go to pull, you'll notice right away that your Direwolf does not tank for you. So you're going to play the kiting game, which is fun, but also sometimes a pain in the ass, because you can run somewhere you're not supposed to, aggro another mob, fall off a cliff. There's a lot of things that can happen. So having your pet actually not tank for you, well, kind of sucks. Put a crippling shot on him. So yeah. So the Direwolf might be really nice if you're in a group and you don't have to worry about that, but we're going to try out a Shadow Stalker instead. Or soloing. Where are the... There we go. Let's open up on him. Come on. Yeah. And once again, no, doesn't doesn't do it. Did I hit you with crippling shot? Come on. All right. So Shadow Stalker's out too. The Direwolf doesn't really have any special abilities other than just a standard attack. But the Shadow Stalker does have a rend, a bleed dot, which is pretty nice. So the Shadow Stalker is probably your best bet if you don't have to worry about aggro, if you don't have to worry about tanking. So, but for soloing, you're stuck with the Razor Beast, who is your tank pet. The Razor Beast you actually get just for speccing into Ranger. So if Ranger's your sub-spec, you get it regardless. Which kind of makes you wonder what's the point of speccing a Ranger if you don't get any good pets. But whatever. So anyway, now that I have my proper pet, we'll see what happens. It's real simple. You go up, you pull, just like a Marksman. Hit a finisher. Now I have an extra cooldown ability there that I'll add. And then when they're low, just spam your combo point ability until they die, and then loot them if there is loot. It's real simple. You notice that they're almost exactly the same as the Marksman, except I do not have a Deadeye Shot, which is the absolutely super powerful finisher for Marksman. I'm stuck with Headshot until I get enough points to actually get that. Let's see here. Pull. Attack. Finisher. Empowered Shot. Quick Shot. Yeah. So pretty standard. Still very effective. Not that this is certainly a perfectly good grinding class, because as you can see, the rogue takes no damage. The pet takes everything, and is allowed to sit back and shoot, but it just doesn't kill as fast as the Marksman. So if you're trying to play a range class, it doesn't seem to be the way to go. But anyway, let me look at these skills here and show you what skills I'm using. The first thing you're seeing me pulling with is Shadow Focus, or Shadow Fire, excuse me, which does which not only gives you a nice buff, and but it's on a 20-second cooldown, which kind of sucks. So you always want to use this when it's up, because it is so powerful. It essentially replaces Empowered Shot almost. Empowered Shot is the Marksman ability, of course. Now, you do want to use Empowered Shot sometimes when Shadow Fire is down, though. But as a Marksman, Empowered Shots you're pulling, but as Ranger, you're using this one. Anyway, after pulling with that, you also add in Splinter Shot, because it is such a powerful bleed. It gives you 2 combo points pretty quick. And then after that, you get your last combo point from Piercing Shot. By reducing the armor, it increases your damage from all of your other non-bleed attacks. For your finisher, like I mentioned, you don't have Deadeye Shot, so I gotta use Headshot, which is just weaker. At least it's instant, though. That's the good thing. But after hitting that, then you're going to build up your combo points again. I usually do an Empowered Shot then. Do a Quick Shot, which is your very basic, simple shot. If you have the Improved Quick Shot talent, it gives you an extra bleed, which makes it useful. But the problem is it doesn't stack or anything. So you don't want to spam Quick Shot. You just want to hit it once. Then you go back to spamming Swift Shot from your Marksman. So if you've seen the Marksman video, or if you've played a Marksman, you'll notice that it's just like, it's exactly the same as playing a Marksman. you don't really get anything for being a ranger. You get these pets that are good for if you're not soloing. I mean, if you're DPSing in a group, I can see this being great, being able to use a different pet than the Razor Beast. But other than that, not really. I don't really see any benefit. It doesn't kill as fast. You don't get any extra protection. You don't really get any extra bleeds because your best bleeds are accessible by from a marksman. So I'm not exactly sure. However, at higher levels, you do get access to Blood Raptor. I really want to see what a Blood Raptor looks like. Obviously, I just can't get this many points in this beta because level 30 is actually the cap, which means it's impossible to get this skill or any other top tier skill in the beta at the moment. But I'm looking forward to trying that in live and seeing how powerful that Blood Raptor is, seeing if he has the option to tank, unlike the other pets. So anyway, we'll see. For now, though, there's not much else to say about the Ranger. I mean, the recommended classes are the same as the Marksman. It's just a Marksman Saboteur instead of Ranger Saboteur. And obviously, you want to put your points in Marksman to get as much damage as possible to support your Ranger. You want to get Deadeye Shot so you can finally replace Headshot. And then you want to get these extra abilities that you get here, like Rapid Fire, which is a great buff, and so on and so forth. You do get one nice finisher for Ranger that you don't have access to as a Marksman, which is Concussive Blast. It actually does AoE damage and silences the target, which is cool. So this is another silenced range silence in addition to the one for Blade Dancer. So as a Marksman, you can get this if you have a lot of points in Ranger, so if you're very high level. But as a Ranger, you get it fairly easily. So that is something to consider for PvP. After all, you don't need a tanking pet for PvP either. So Ranger might, you might have something there for PvP. I'm not sure. Now, for your third spec, Saboteur, I just went with it because it's the recommended one. Now, you saw me when I was earlier, when I didn't have aggro, I was using Adhesive Bomb, which is a, ability. It's a Saboteur ability, obviously. Yeah. Adhesive Bomb is awesome. It slows the enemy by quite a bit. In AoE. God, this doesn't kill fast enough. There we go. Anyway. Adhesive Bomb slows the enemy in a big AoE, so it's actually very useful for a lot of situations, including PvP, soloing, or just supporting a group, or anything like that. If the tank loses track of mobs, I mean, this is just a really powerful ability, and that makes this almost by itself makes Saboteur useful for just about any spec. Plus, this talent you have access to at the very beginning, which gives you a huge dexterity bonus. I mean, who doesn't want that? But other than that, there's not much else you can get from here. I mean, if you put enough points, you can get some traps and stuff for PvP, but I mean, you're talking about a lot of points, and then you're giving up your Marksman points. At high levels, though, at max level especially, you may have the spare points to do that, get Deadeye Shot and, I don't know what else, maybe a couple other things from Marksman, and then get the rest of your points in Saboteur and pick up, like, Entangling Trap, which is really nice, and some others, maybe Barb Trap. That would be helpful for PvP, I suppose, but that's all speculation because obviously in the beta we don't have the ability to get that many points. We just have to go with a primary spec and only a few fleeting talents here in the beginning of these trees. Now, if you're trying to look for a different option than Marksman or Saboteur, Marksman I would almost certainly keep for Deadeye Shot. But if you want to think about switching out for Saboteur, there's some options. Bard is an awesome support class. That's something to consider. It'll also heal your pet, which is always nice. With Cadence, it's better than Rejuvenate. Nightblade has some ranged dots, which will stack up with, that do fire damage. It'll stack up with your bleeds. That's something to consider, I suppose. Blade Dancer, I wouldn't go for Blade Dancer. They don't have much for you. Assassin gives you stealth, but your pet doesn't get stealth, so I'm not sure that would be that useful. So no, I would consider Bard or Nightblade over Saboteur, maybe, especially for low levels. Especially as a Bard, you get your buff, your motif, just for specking into it. That alone would probably make it worth it. One of the downsides of Nightblade, their range attacks are only 20 meters, whereas your attacks, thanks to Marksman talents, are actually 35 meters. You can see here on the tooltip, 3 to 35 meter range. So it's quite a bit longer. I mean, just to get an idea of how long that is, I mean, look at this. This is a huge amount of distance. Not enough energy, come on. So anyway, not much else to say about the Ranger. Oh, wow, look at that, a Death Rift. I'm going to have to go respec into a better spec and go do that. But I wouldn't recommend the Ranger as a primary at all. It's just, it's the same thing as a Marksman but weaker. So I don't like that, and it just doesn't have the killing power that Marksman has because it doesn't have Deadeye Shot, among other things, and it just doesn't have useful pets while soloing. But of course, if you were grinding instances or something, or if you're high level and you're not worried about having a pet tank for you, then Ranger might be something to consider. And then again, the Blood Raptor might be amazing. So hopefully that turns out to be something that we can see when the game goes live. I'm really intrigued by seeing that Blood Raptor and seeing how useful it is. So thanks for watching. That's all for today. This is Cromar with TGN.